Hey everyone, Pine Grove News Live here. Yep, 6:02 p.m. on the East Coast, and yeah, sun is setting, kind of pink hue over the horizon, and of course they always chem spray just before sunset. They've been doing it for the past 2-3 years. So, and chem spray on the West Coast over there in Northern California in the morning. So their sunrise and our sunset. So what's going on with that? Something to think about. Anyways, well, there's a heck of a lot of news out there. Can't cover it all though, and we're not gonna. Unless you want to do a marathon, go probably a few hours. But anyway, there's a rumor, I guess, because it's out there. I mean, the Weather Channel says it, so it must be true, right? Yeah, nor'easter for the East Coast over the weekend. I don't know what they're looking at, man. I'm looking, at AccuWeather, okay, and seems to be accurate. So I'm looking at AccuWeather, and I really see all this stuff. It's remnants from that Mexico will is just heading to our south. So it's probably going to affect Long Island and blah blah blah, but it is all heading mostly out to sea. That's what I see. That's on the live radar. So I don't expect any nor'easter. Well, we get rain here. This is New England. We get rain. If you're not happy with the weather, wasn't normal New Englanders say, well, just wait a minute. It's bound to change. Yeah, I don't think it changes that fast, but that's what they say here, for a long time. So I hope everyone's doing well. Blessings to everyone. Many prayers. We should be praying all the time. There's all kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of brothers and sisters that are just in need of, healing, basic essentials, provisions. But so we pray for all that. This is the time we live in, man. And you wonder why the Bible says that we are to pray without ceasing. This is why. It's the times that we're in. So some of this news I'm going to come up here and, after the weather and after this from the sun, that Zanti quake terror over there in Greece or off the coast of Greece. The rest of it's going to go pretty quick. Most of it you probably already heard of and probably tired of hearing it. I know I'm tired of it already. We'll get to that. So this Greece earthquake, 6.8 magnitude. Forced to flee from their hotels with babies and kids. Yeah, there's a little video of that. Now, this is not the normal place that I go for earthquake news. I had a slight problem before I came on air here, and that was had all the news set ready at 4:30, and then I don't know if I hit a button, did something that I wasn't supposed to do. All I know is that one page went to its own browser, and I tried to get rid of it, and it got rid of everything. I'd start over. So with that, here's some pictures of the earth cracking. I mean, that's what happens. This was offshore too. That is. But there was a video down here of kids running out of a building, yelling and screaming. So, okay, so here's the map. Okay, Zanti. I pinpointed that because it was definitely offshore, 6.8. I have not heard of any tsunamis. But yeah, 6.8. Pretty big sucker. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has heard of any tsunami. I got the original one from USGS, but no mention of any tsunami. I don't know if they would even put it out there. You know, the USGS anyway, even if there was. Remember, they took one down, one notice, and people ended up going back into the water and getting hit by a tsunami. So, you know, I don't know, maybe somebody's got to go knock on the door, make sure they're all awake there at the USGS, or find out why the heck that they would do something like that. I would hold them responsible. They have the system to warn us, warn the people. They did it temporarily and then discontinued almost immediately, and they should be held responsible. There was people that died because they went back into the waters. Anyway, so a lot of talk about volcanoes. 3 new active ones, and there's one article I forgot to get, but we'll talk about that. I want to break it down anyways for another time, and we'll break down that interview that Mike from around the world had with Pastor Paul Begley. So there's a few of you out there know exactly how I feel about those things. We'll talk about that later. This is for the news. That is a sideshow. It's definitely a show. Government warns of 18 volcanoes that pose a very high threat in the U.S. I know there's a weekly, I believe it's over at the Watchers. They usually put out a weekly report. Yeah, okay, I got it. So there was 3 new ones. So yeah, 18 that pose a very high threat in the U.S. 18 of them. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that. 18 of them. You got to include the super volcano, Yellowstone, right? And the one that's supposedly now been found on over there on the East Coast, or over here on the East Coast. Anyways, government scientists are classifying 18 U.S. volcanoes as a very high threat because of what's been happening inside them and how close they are to people. The U.S. Geological Survey is updating its volcanic threat assessments for the first time since 2005. The danger list is topped by Hawaii's Kilauea, which has been erupting this year. Yeah, we went through that news, right? Still want to hear what's happening with that slip. Remember that slip? They were talking about the plant there, the hydro, whatever you call it, that's powered from volcanoes, from this volcano, from this caldera. Yeah, anyway, somewhere in that area, there was a slip on the southeast coast. Some highway, Highway 1, I don't know, it just goes around that area. And they were worried about that piece of land slipping off into the ocean. There's a couple, one threat of huge land mass slipping into the ocean and causing a tsunami. Yeah, so the others in the top 5 are Mount St. Helens again, okay, and Mount Rainier, Washington, Alaska's Redoubt volcano, and California's Mount Shasta. We've all heard of these before. I don't know. I haven't heard of the one Redoubt volcano, Alaska. Certainly heard of Shasta, and we all know about what's that one, Mount St. Helens, because didn't that already blow? Yeah, I mean, it was probably a short time afterwards that they still saw smoke and other stuff coming out of that whole mountain, where the whole side of the mountain just blew away. That was something to see, because they actually have it on a video. A lot of these do have live cams on them. Go watch them. Go find out for yourself. Go be the first to report it. Yeah, let's get to this. Let's go to the weekly. I'm going to watch the weekly volcanic activity report, October 17th to the 23rd. It is now the 26th, if I didn't mention that. So, new activity unrest was reported for 3 volcanoes between, I just said that during the same period. Ongoing activity was reported for 15 volcanoes. How much does that equal? That equals 18, doesn't it? 3 volcanoes, new ones, 15 then still ongoing. The new activity and unrest, Indonesia. I cannot pronounce its name. Okay, I can pronounce Indonesia. Ryukyu Islands, Japan, and the Matu Island in Russia. 3 new ones. And then the ongoing activity. I won't hurt your ears by trying to go pronounce those 15. It's needless to say that, let's see, I'll mention some places. I mean, the United States, Costa Rica, Russia, Italy, Japan, Indonesia, of course. Indonesia's got a couple of them. Indonesia, 1, 2, 3, 4 in Indonesia. I'm just, wondering if that thing is going to have some huge freaking earthquake with all those volcanoes around there. Such a massive move of, mantle. Ooh, who knows? Maybe that's the earthquake that will be heard around the world. It's possible. I'm still believing, though, those islands up there off the coast of Washington and Oregon, as well as the San Andreas Fault, I believe that if those 2 or one or the other go off, I think the whole thing goes off. That will surely, that's, what, almost a third of the Ring of Fire? Oh, that would be, devastating. Very much so. Who knows? It could trigger the rest of it, like, Yellowstone and Tamasi up there in the north west Pacific. There, I guess, around Alaska and the Aleutian Islands, right over there. Remember those pilots who saw the orange or reddish glow in the water as they are flying over the ocean? That was Tamasi. Was the supervolcano underneath the Pacific. So you think with the Tamasi and with Fukushima, with the radiation going into the water, and they just putting another billion tons of waste into the water, you would think that would have some kind of effect on the Pacific Ocean. All the gases and, chemicals, the sulfur, all that stuff that comes out of a volcano. Some of it's very much poisonous to life. So Texas, well, no, I didn't want to go there yet. Come on, man. Yeah, this one, Saipan. Extensive damage to Saipan, Tinian, and Rota after deadly super typhoon U2. Yeah, U2 makes landfall. Again. Or at least, and only one person, okay? It's still, but it could have been much, much worse. Who knows? One person has been killed in Saipan and many others injured after Category 5 super typhoon U2 made landfall in the northern Mariana Islands early Thursday. Yesterday, the storm left extensive damage, set the scale for which future storms will be compared to. Is that a clue? Is that a warning? Future storms will be compared to? I don't know. I think they're getting bigger and worse every year now, at least for the past 3 to 5 years. I know somebody else been watching. I've been watching very intently since then, but maybe somebody's been watching prior to that. How long has this been building up? And every year, setting new records for storms, volcanoes, earthquakes, everything. Stuff that's coming down from the heavens. We are to watch the heavens as well for signs. Now we had that Revelation 12 sign in what, September 23rd? When was it, of last year? Come and gone, but a very big sign. Okay, let's go to Texas now. And we're going to start, that's the, the easy stuff, stuff that we're used to that, doesn't turn our stomachs too much. Weather and earthquakes and volcanoes. Let's turn now to what is all coming up. What, November 6th? We got today's 26th. Yeah, we're talking a week, a couple days after that. And now we're going to start with this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. You guys know about the mail bombs, of course. And there's a bunch of updates and crazy stuff going on with those headlines. And just so you know, most of it's coming from CNN. So this Texas issues an advisory on a problem with voting machines. I mean, does this happen every time? Somebody's always got a problem. What did somebody suggest the last time that they go and do, ballots by hand? I mean, that's what it comes down to. I don't trust the voting to be tabulated and collected over the internet. Not when it's now in the hands of the UN and its agendas and so on and so forth. I do not trust it at all. With all the cyber hacking and other hackings going on, this should not be done on the internet. It's not a safe place. It's not. It should be done old style. I don't know. I never voted. Never voted. Never had the audacity to go and stand up and go in and vote thieves, liars, killers, and murderers into our office. No, I never had the gall to do that. Yeah, we want to change the government. Let's change the whole thing. I think we need a reset on that. Could be, paying attention, could be why they will decide to reset everything. Stock market, you know that is way down again, and actually they've lost all their earnings from last year. They are now below that, at a negative. I don't know, people. There is talk, and there is articles out there about slowly bringing this stock market and so on and so forth, slowly but surely down to an end. And we may be seeing it finally. Been talking about it for years. Yeah, this economy's been, bad since Obama took over. It wasn't his fault. It was the Bush's fault and the Clintons' fault. Democrats, you say? I don't particularly care for any. If I'm to be declared anything, which I'm not, it would be independent. Nothing. So there we go. I'm just going to leave that there. Texas issues an advisory on problem with voting machines. You're going to see this is not going to be the only one. Why is my computer selecting its tabs itself? Wow, that is ooh, better not say that. It's well, you know about Windows 10 and all its spyware. Why do you think they gave away Windows 10? Come on, people. We're still in the era where nobody gives nothing away for free. And when they start giving you Windows 10 and you find out, I was told, my one certain member of the Geek Squad when I had my computer in there, when I didn't want Windows 10 but had to because that's the only thing they sold. You can go get, your own computer and have it built your own way. Yeah, you'll pay a pretty price for that, but maybe that would be better all right around. Everything we have now is spyware. You got it in, 4K and your TV and your dishwasher and your refrigerator and your microwaves. Yeah, they've all got chips in them, and China's got their hands in there as well as on the government's and their chips that they put in our own military. Highly organized caravan is focused on appearances of spontaneity. Well, before I go into that, why don't we go to this? This is from Blacklisted News. Hundreds of caravan migrants accept bus rides home amid sickness, fear, and police harassment. Okay, and so when they talk about migrants accept bus rides home, okay, now they show pictures of women and children. Something to think about. And all the other pictures, there's rarely a woman that you could see. Okay, there is one or two of them in the very front with the flags. And there, other than that, you saw some videos. They were marching by. Young men between, I would say between 18 and, 35. There were some older ones too. That was the majority of them. It's an army coming here. It's not a humanitarian. It's not people running from, poorness. I'm telling you one thing. I'm not so poor at the moment. I feel pretty well blessed, even though I don't have as much as a lot of people. But I can't afford to go anywhere. I can't afford to pack up and start walking for thousands of miles. Really? I don't have the money to go and buy from the shops along the way and, buy my lunches and breakfasts and dinners and my water that I'm going to need all those miles. Where are these people? They just packed up and started walking thousands of miles with, what? They're a week's worth of food? Something? Yeah, I don't know, people. Something very suspicious about all of it. About that, about the bombs, Anyway. Highly organized. This is the title of this one from the World Tribune. Caravan is focused on appearances. Seems to be so. One day we see a marching army. The next day we get CNN saying, well, where's the Middle Eastern guy? Point out the Middle Eastern guy. It's kind of like a book, Find that guy and amongst all the people. The New Yorker. I forget what the name of it is. Anyway, the organizers of the massive migrant caravan making its way towards the U.S.-Mexican border are intent on giving the impression that the caravan is a spontaneous event, according to reports from the scene. However, many of the people who are part of the caravan, which Guatemalan intelligence officials now estimate numbers 14,000, folks. 14,000. A couple of days ago, it was 7,000. Apparently, after this 14,000, there was another 1,000 spotted behind them. And so they provide the same rehearsed answers when interviewed by media outlets. Good point. Most would be in concert say, we are not paid. We walked out of our homes to join the caravan because we are poor. Right. I just picture it. I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people who don't have a lot of money or work paycheck to paycheck like we all do because the government takes most of our money. Yeah, the part that we could be doing better on and spending on, spending and bringing the economy back up. But no, the government wants it, okay? And so they invent ways to get it. And they ain't done yet. Wait till the reset happens. So anyways, yeah, poor people just, these people walk by their houses and they're poor, walk by the poor neighborhoods so that the poor people can see the other poor people and join groups and walk together poor. Yeah, okay, I'm not buying it. Like I said, they all look, I don't know about these guys, but pretty much well dressed, get, however they like to dress. Let's see. Yeah, anyways, I don't want to read any more of it. You can read it. It's it's political. It's all political. And this being what it is, I mean, 14,000 people now, more than doubled in a couple days. Supposedly, walking through Mexico, another 1,000 miles to go at least. Now, I know the president said he's going to send troops. If this was even the case, if this was all real, that they're all running from their countries because they're poor and they decide to walk in the clothes that they have, a little backpack maybe to carry some food and water, thousands of miles, days and days on end. And first of all, they would run out of everything within the first week. The point I'm making will come up in a minute. But these, what are they going to do, this army? And I'm calling it an army because that's what it is. An army. That's what happens when you build up an army along the way. You gather supporters, okay, for your particular cause. And so along this couple 1,000-mile trek, people are going to hear that the caravan's coming, and other people are going to say, yep, I'm going to join the caravan. We're all going to America to live in relative peace and harmony and free money. Yep, free money. No jobs here, but there's free money. Sorry, folks, I'm no longer paying any more money to the banks, to the insurance companies, or to any caravan coming into this country. If you want to come into this country, come on in, and you're on your own. That's what they all did in the beginning when they all came in at Ellis Island in New York, man. They were basically on their own. They brought what they could. Most of it was just a shirt on their back, and a lot of them made it. There's stories about that. But so the response from Mr. Trump to this 14,000 army advancing towards the U.S. southern border is to send hundreds of troops. And I heard the figure was 800. That's what World Watchman told me. 800, that's what he heard. Hundreds to deal with thousands, tens of thousands. Who knows? By the time it gets here, they get here another 1,000 miles, it may be tens of thousands, 20,000. Why not double it? 30,000. I'm telling you, you're going to need more than 800 U.S. troops. You're going to need all the citizens of those border towns to stand up as well, because this is an invasion. It's an army, and they should realize it. 800 troops. I know we got weaponry, but we're not going to go and freaking mow down and kill thousands of Guatemalans or whoever, people from El Salvador, whoever they're coming from. And they know that. Well, I hope there's a plan. I had a couple plans I set up in my head, because I think about these things. You should. Some other things that I think about you don't want to know. And I'm not going to really come out in public and say it because some of these people who may be listening could take this information and use it against the country. I'll mention it in private little chat rooms and maybe to the government if they want to know how this country, and they should know how easily it would be to cause any kind of problems in the country. how easy it is. We all know about the electrical outages in California where the lines were cut, or, just hacked. You know how easy that was. So a lot of things in this country, because we walk around thinking that we are free and nobody's going to bother us, and we're not going to bother anybody else unless it bothers us. So, ever, I mean, until it's too late, then what are you going to do? I remember at 9/11, and I was on watch everywhere I went, okay? And you want to talk about profiling? Yes, I was profiling, because you got to profile. That's why they try and recruit Americans, so that, we, profiling won't work. But sorry, other than that, there's still some Americans that are homegrown terrorists. They just simply had some bad thing happen to them, and they just blamed it on the country or a group of people. And and in this day and age, everyone is just angry and hateful and just want to create havoc. And not just create it. I mean, there are people out there who pay money to help people become chaotic. This is all chaos, okay? And it's brought on by the #1 chaotic entity. Masters. Yes. Apollyon. Satan and his demons. Yep. Chaos. Kill, steal, and destroy. That's what he's come here for. Some people say he is not yet thrown to the earth. He's still in one of the lower heaven, that he might one day really be, thrown to the earth. But I don't know. I mean, other people think that he's already here. Or that he may be in a lower heaven type deal, but, what do you call it, delegating everything from where he is to all his demonic realm here on earth and below the earth. So if this is a flat earth, okay, and when they talk about below the earth, I mean, is that really on the other side of the flat earth in another time and dimension? Or, I don't know, is there people live underneath there, and when you flip it back over, it's roots, and I don't know. What does the flat earth say about that? As it is in heaven, so let it be on earth. But it talks about under the earth. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. I don't know why I went there. But anyway, there you go.
United States defying warnings from the White House as President Trump
there's one woman
his promise to keep the border secure.
Oh, there's a couple.
When our country
or there, they had to get that shot in.
Thousands and thousands of people marching, and they openly say, we're going to go into the country. We can't do that. We started the wall. You're going to see a very secure border. You just watch.
This as another caravan just formed in Central America, starting its trek toward our southern border. So is this helping the president build his case for building the wall? And joining me now to talk about it is the Director of Policy Studies for the Center for Immigration.
Yeah, I don't care about the wall right now, but he's building it anyway. Just a matter of how he's going to get the funds afterwards to pay for some of it. Of course, he's going after Mexico. And I agree that they should have to pay some of it too. Anyway, so let's see. Yeah, now we're going to talk about these stupid mail bombs, these pipe bombs. And they supposedly got the pipe bomber in custody, supposedly. So, man arrested in connection to suspected explosive packages. Okay, you want to hear that. That's going to be there for you. No postmark on packages. Okay, there is none there. But I saw another package before I lost all my tabs to the previous browser that was here. There is none here, but I saw a package where it looked just like this one, and it did have a stamp right around here, and it covered at least the first stamp, maybe the second stamp. This one Yeah, it doesn't show it. I was trying to find the one that showed that it did have it. So anyway, I've seen a stamp on one of those packages. So that one doesn't appear to have it. So whatever, you have one not and one yes. So this is basically what all this is doing, okay? Mail bomb suspect arrested in Florida. Booker, Clapper, latest Democrats to be sent packages. It's all being sent to Democrats, okay? So you obviously need to know that. And they have a list somewhere. Of course, this from National News. Fake pipe bomb hoaxer arrested. Obvious signs of a CIA false flag operation to shift election narrative to blaming Trump supporters. Yeah. It's all the Republicans, people who are trying to get rid of the Democrats. So, woohoo, feel very sorry for me and then vote for me, okay? Please. Yeah, so, that could be what's happening, and there could be bombs sent to some people. Maybe there wasn't. Fingerprint led FBI to package bomb suspect Caesar Savak. I believe I just showed you him right there. Okay. Let's see, here's the other one. Suspicious packages targeting James Clapper, Senator Cory Booker, found in Midtown and in Florida. Okay, let's see. And this one, New York City's 911 top cop walks off CNN when mail bombs politicized. Yeah, so one of the main ingredients of all this, CNN. Okay, they have already been found guilty of setting up and staging freaking news reports or newscasts. I've seen them do it. I've seen somebody's gotten videos of them staging. Anyway, they're fake news. They're the mainstream media. They get a script and they've done a bad job of it, and even made up their own little skits. So I mean, I don't know. Bombs, pipe bombs. Supposedly they're very easy to make. Material. I don't know how to get them. I'm sure you can get anything on the internet you want and any kind of directions you want. Of course, some of the directions might actually lead you to have them blow up in your face or hand. How do you know if you're needing these directions? So anyway, man, and it's all to the Democrats. So I don't know. Maybe, the Democrats are definitely, desperate. DDD. Democrats definitely desperate. Yeah. DDD. D-Day. Yeah, we'll call it D-Day. Democrats definitely disturbed? Oh, anyway, having fun with that. So, whatever, man. Whatever. It's what it's doing, taking your focus away and on this, going back and forth like a freaking ping pong game, man. Yeah, it's Democrats did it, the Republicans did it. It's all to make the Democrats look like they're targets and you feel bad for them. Man, just think of your own. Come on, use your common sense, use your discernment on this. You know what I'm gonna do with it after today? I'm probably just never gonna look at it again. I just had to show all those things so you could see that it is just going back and forth. Between that and between that and the Caravan. Wow, my mouse is going away. Take it. Anyway, you either got the Caravan or you got the pipe bombs now. And it's only, about a week, couple days, maybe, away from, election day. And I know you can, vote early, right? Or, heard somebody talking about being able to vote early. You don't have to go out and vote just on that one day. That is the deadline, I guess. Yeah, so, typical psyops going on here. And this coming from Natural News, I think sometimes they get a little, what do you call it? Oh, see, I always come to these things. What do you call signs of the CIA false flag? Yeah. A little conspiratorial sometimes. That was what I was looking for. Conspiracy. A lot of conspiracies come out of National News. But I like it when it comes out and he has data. Data that you can go follow. That's the story. Those are the stories that I like. If not, then I'm going to have to go research it myself and prove whether it's right or wrong. You know, A-okay. Where is it going from there? This is a dying story. It's already dead now. Fake pipe bombs. Yeah, this guy is just going to be like all those other patsies, you know, the one that got shot in Florida, okay? All kinds of stuff, man. Yep. Fingerprints. Serious packages, targeting clapper. We already did that. The 911 guy. Okay. I think we're just about done. I don't know why I got this, but I've always been curious about Mars. I've always been following all the rovers and stuff that go up there. And this is a very, very blurry picture, so I don't know what's up with that. There's a strange cloud on Mars right now, and it's just hanging around. Oh. Yeah. See, I don't know what this picture is. And I know they can have them a lot clearer than that. I mean, this clearly looks like some kind of volcano chain going off. So, cloud, yeah, it's probably just smoke from a volcano. I don't, whatever. I believe that they have detected that there's been, that there's volcanic activity. But anyway, yeah, I'll just look at that on my own later on. Yeah, and this, with all that this is going on, maybe it's to cover this thing up. Maybe it's to cover the heavenly things that we're to look for, the things that could be here, and that's why they're doing all this chemtrailing. Of course, the original reason for chemtrailing, right, was that the Anunnaki were returning, after their 39,000-year trek from Nibiru. Yeah, and they that's the reason why they came here in the first place, right? To come here and collect gold to spray in their atmosphere, because that's apparently what they needed in their atmosphere. In any case, some really crazy stories from the Samaritan text. I think they just decoded it wrong. Yeah. But yeah, even though that there are Egyptian hieroglyphics that actually show helicopters and airplanes from way back then, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, they may have had very high technology back, when the pyramids were actually built, because the Egyptians, the ones that were there 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, they did not build them. No, they just used them after they were abandoned. Who knows? We can go and talk about this some other time too. So I have all kinds of stuff for stuff like that. Try not to get distracted too about it. I mean, I have gone and gotten myself way too distracted, way too far down a rabbit hole, and it just turned dark. Yeah, it just ended up turning dark. Because, once you get down this rabbit hole and it draws you in and you're collecting all this data, what goes away? All your other data. It all goes away while you're immersed in these dark holes. And you think about things, and things are put into your head, the whispers from the devil, and it gets even darker. I'm just telling you, I can explain myself and what I'm talking about, it being dark and how it gets darker. Maybe we'll talk about it someday. I'd like to talk about it with a group, because I know I'm not the only one that's been down rabbit holes, gotten into trouble or felt like the Holy Spirit has or Jesus has left, and you're left all alone with all this darkness. Anyway, we could talk about that another time. The Dow erases gains for the year, tumbles more than 600 points. They've been really hyping this up lately. Now that the Dow has erased all its gains for the year, and here we are in October, 2 months left, to the end of the year, and they've erased all their gains. That should be very disturbing. I mean, I know it's just a rich man's, game, Ponzi pyramid scheme type thing. It's all propped up. But they all rely on this for the economy. I mean, we can get by without their pyramid schemes and their fake, paper money. We can do that. We can go back to the barter system. So don't worry about, the stock market and all this stuff failing, because it's bound to fail. It's going to fail. It's not of the Lord. It's not, it's just earthly. Of this world, and this world is doomed. In any case, there you go with the Dow. I mean, so expect that. I mean, we can always talk about how to prep, what to do before that. What just comes off the top of my head is maybe go find and collect some silver coins. And if you have gold, make sure you don't give it away to anybody. Paper gold is no good. It's not. It's like the paper money we have here. It's no good. Yes, it's just a promissory note. That's all it is. Look at it. Read it. Just a promissory note. They may call it legal tender, but I don't think there's anything legal about it. It's legal according to the elite, maybe, because they own it. They print the money. So this one, see, what did I do now? Man, this thing is so sensitive today. This I want you to know about. Of course, I hope you've already known about it. Last headline here: dozens more breakfast foods test positive for trace amounts of weed killer. What was that? I was trying to say glyphosate and killer at the same time. Thinking way more than my mouth is moving. If that's possible. It is with me anyway. So, Honey Nut Cheerios is one of my favorites, and it is the first one on the list. That was good stuff, man. So, dozens of common breakfast cereals and snack bars. People, do you buy these granola bars, these snack? What the heck is this computer doing? Wow. Going crazy. Doesn't like it. I'm telling you. The snack bars, the Nature Valley peanut clusters, whatever, the little bars that they sell, there's different types. Go look on the packaging. Go look under that folded part on the back where you open it up from and read the very bottom of any of the packaging. It will tell you that they use GMO modified, geoengineered modified products in making those things. I'm just saying, I still eat them because I pray over my food. I can't afford to buy anything else. That's the cheapest I can go. And actually, they're not that cheap. But I need these things. And the Lord provides them, and He also blesses them. He could take all those nutrients and all that GMO, modified, whatever, DNA enhanced, whatever, and get rid of it and make it good for you again. That's why we need to pray all the time. You need to pray all the time. You need to talk and have a relationship with the Lord. talk to him all day, pray all day, ask for the Holy Spirit to give you knowledge and wisdom to use it, and that you might, or the Holy Spirit might speak through you and not yourself. I make that mistake a lot. Don't ask always. I forget to ask anyway that the Holy Spirit would please speak through me instead of me speaking. When I speak, it's like a babbling idiot. In any case, that's what we can do to fight this, because it's probably in, almost everything that we're eating now. I mean, I don't even know if I'm buying a steak that was made in China that was put together with a whole bunch of different products and chemicals. I mean, they have to put some things on the packaging, I guess, but there's a lot of companies that don't have to, or don't, or else you wouldn't buy them. Oh, that's all we have to do, folks. We have to pray. Things are going to be coming down, and if you listen to, Mike from around the world over at COT, he has nothing but doom and gloom, him and Pastor Bagley, besides his high ratings and his saved amount of people that he saved. Yeah. But in any case, yeah, nothing but doom and gloom out there, folks. So, what you know what you need to do to get away from it. Only listen to the news a couple times a week. Somebody you trust, somebody you know that won't be lying to you or doing it for clickbait or descriptions or whatever. Most of it is about money. It's all it is. It's about money. It's not about money for me. Never has been. I did make some money in the very beginning. Very little. But it was never about it. And the only reason I do this, I'm not the watchman on the wall. I don't collect donations from the people I'm protecting by getting this information out. I don't charge them for the information before I give them the information. No, being a watchman on the wall is to warn and protect the people. That's why you're on the wall. You get, these things first. You'll see, this army coming or whatever. So you need to warn people. I just warned you about 2. Anyways, it's not about the money. Not for a true Christian. It is not about the money. It's about the money with any Christian. They're not Christian. All I can tell you is that you need to pray. And I'm telling you because I've been praying, and prayers have been answered. When I wasn't called and I was praying, not too many prayers were being answered. I'm telling you. There were a couple now that I realize way back, but the Lord showed me that he was there way back. I had to be shown it. The only reason I know. Felt like it at the time that maybe, God was in it somehow. All I know is I got whatever I needed at that point, and that was it. That's all I needed to know. Yeah, I don't know if it's the weather or something like that, but my nose has been kind of stuffed up for 2 days now. A little bit, not too bad. I can still breathe, but I have not been sick for a long, long time. Maybe an occasional day or so. But I don't really call that sick. Maybe it was just tired. But in any case, sorry for babbling on. That's it. That's all we got, man. And blessings to you all. Have a great evening. Have a great Sabbath. For those who celebrate it, the evening tide, which is already here. And see you over the weekend, hopefully. I'm always planning to come and do something over the weekend from our hearts. It won't be about any multiple news stories. but we may talk about some things. Keep trying to do that, but something like, their demonic little envoys may be sent along my way to distract me, and sometimes he gets away with it. But I'm praying hard. The Holy Spirit holds them at bay. So, things get done that need to be done that are the most important. And that's studying the Word and knowing God and keeping that relationship going. Man, I'm telling you, if I, now that I've, the Lord has called and I answered, I mean, I can't imagine not being with Him at all. I would simply perish if I couldn't be with Him anymore. I think a lot of us think that way. It may be true. The other way is just the wrong way. Anyways, God bless everyone. See you around. Peace out.